Hi, this is Judi Otton with GrowthCast, and I'm back with your latest bottom-up growth tip. Today we're going to talk about overtime. For many businesses, salaries and payroll are the biggest single expense item compared to anything. In some businesses, by far the biggest. And if your team's working overtime, likely at time and a half or more, it gets really, really expensive and sometimes unnecessarily so. So I'm going to give you some tips to try and manage that overtime. First of all, I want you to get to the root cause. Are you chronically understaffed? Is that why everyone's working overtime all the time? In that case, it really is cheaper to hire another person or 2 or 10 that you can pay regular straight wages as opposed to paying everybody overtime. And then everybody gets a little bit better quality of life. Are there inefficiencies in your business? I'll tell you the answer to this is probably yes. Almost all businesses have some inefficiencies in them. Finding out where those are may help you reduce the overtime. Another common cause is you may have an employee or 2 that's taking advantage. This is good to know because the next tip that I'm going to give you is you really need to have a comprehensive overtime policy. Things like no overtime unless it's approved by your supervisor. Your employees must take lunch and breaks so that by the end of the regular working day, they're not working overtime. So make sure you have a really well-stated, well-designed policy. The third tip that I'm going to give you for managing overtime is cross-training. Cross-training will cover a multitude of sins. When one department or one person gets busy, someone else can pick up the slack. And finally, you may want to consider rewarding efficiency. I had a client in the construction industry that started paying his team completion bonuses when they completed a job on time, cut his overtime down to 0. The bonuses were about half of what he was spending on overtime, and then they could move on to the next job. So that was a win-win-win. So make sure you're managing your overtime, you're monitoring it, and you're keeping it to a minimum. I'll be back next week with another bottoms-up growth tip. This is Judi Otton from GrowthCast. Take care.